Hola, welcome. Alrighty. Always putting down my pencil. Always losing where it is. Followed closely by always being out of lead. Let's just do it that way. All right. Good and snug. go. That's what I was looking for. Call you 1A. Let's see where my other one is. Probably be wise. You're aside there, you're aside there. All right. 1A, 1B, 1C, and 1D. Alrighty. 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D. That it is. Can't get enough of it. All right, I've got 1A down. Excellent. All right, that's one. Label. On to the next. Top. That's why we can't have nice things. How did I have you wind up? Oh. Let's see if another chisel wouldn't be better. It's getting a little dull. Oh. No, actually, I don't. So I served at Fort Bragg. I was in North Carolina, and I'm originally Washington born and raised. So after getting out, my family moved back to Washington State because I hadn't been there in about 7 years. And my dog Lexi retired with me and came with me. And we were there from 2014 till last year, moved back here to North Carolina. And while living in Washington, my cousin was staying in the house with us. It was a large house, so there was a mother-in-law suite downstairs where he lived for, he lived with us pretty much the entire time that we were in Washington State. And Lexi took quite a liking to him, and he was more apt to getting her outdoors, to getting her, to dog parks, over to his family's house where they have dogs. And so she was just considerably more active with him. And it was a tough decision to make, but when the time came to move back here, decided to leave Lexi with him, mostly because she was having a good life. She was there. She was staying active, and for me it was harder to maintain that level of attention that she needed because I've got 3 kids and working and everything. So while it was sad to not have her come with us, I know that she's enjoying herself, I think, considerably more as a result. So that's where she is now, and she's not doing so hot. She's got cancer. She's coming up on, let's see, when I started training with her in 2010, and she was just a puppy. So she's coming up on 10 or 11 right now. And she's got some growths on her legs, but she's doing okay for the most part. Tracy's been taking good care of her, and I know she's in good hands, and I know she's getting more out of life there with him than she would have with me. And to me, that was more important than anything else. She deserved it. All right. Oh, yep. Washington born and raised. Go Hawks. If you can't tell, I'm a Seahawks fan. It's I miss it. Moved out here because of my kids. They had moved out here, so this was the place to be. Where are you getting stuck? Hopefully, one day in the near future, we'll get to move back to Washington. I miss being there. It's a good place. All my family's there. North Carolina is where all of my ex-wife's family is. All right. I need to shorten, I think, you just a tad. So right now, I'm building 2 coffee tables. One is for us because we have a real small coffee table that we want to replace. And the second one I want to donate. My thought process is to find someone local, preferably within about 2 hours. 3 would be all right. I'm not trying to drive aggressively far. I can't ship it, but to a veteran or a single dad, or just someone deserving of a new piece of furniture. So eventually there'll be a call to arms with everyone as far as trying to find someone that can point me in a good direction that might have a suggestion on someone that could use it. Let's see. Here, I'm gonna break it down for you. This is the extent and complexity to which my sketches go. Very detailed, very accurate, very poorly drawn. So one thing I struggle with the most, honestly, is the design part. I could build a piece of furniture no time flat. I can hammer through stuff. It's the fine articulations and details that really trump me up. Although I am excited, tomorrow is the last day for that coffee table, the first one, the one that got everyone here. I get to pick someone on, let's see, today's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and figure out where that coffee table is going to go. I'm excited for that as well. Get to see it taken by someone that can appreciate it. Thank you. Now let's see here. Favorite type of wood? It depends on what you're asking, because I can have different favorites for different reasons. For instance, of ease of use and carving, poplar is great. It's really soft. Downside is it dents pretty easily. You can steam out a lot of those, but as far as like making something that's going to get bumped into, it's not really an ideal species, but it's great for all the filler stuff. As far as like decorative things, I really like walnut. Walnut's, I just think, a beautiful wood. Everything about it looks fantastic. There's a few other ones which are I've enjoyed working with. They can, I don't want to say be troublesome. I've done some mahogany work before. It's a nice species, but it's prone to tear out and chip out, so you have to be more cognizant when you're working with it. Maple's really nice. Soft maple, hard maple. I mean, it's really a good, if you're looking for an overall well-rounded piece of wood to use, maple's not a bad choice. It takes paint really well. It's very durable. It's very strong. As far as staining goes, poplar can be tricky, as well as maple, due to blotching and inconsistencies. I don't know. I love building. I don't have too much of a. I would say, okay, here's one thing I will say. VG fir, vertical grain fir. So I have a, what's it called? my entertainment center, the one that has had at one point the Japanese cherry blossom on it. I made it all out of vertical grain Douglas fir because I was going for an Japanese-inspired Asian aesthetic, and the lines in the wood have something similar to it. The downside to the material is it just chips off everywhere. It splinters everywhere. I have never been stabbed so many times as I had building that one piece of furniture. But it's a nice material. You just, I don't know. I'm rambling now. Maple, yes. Well, so that coffee table I purchased curly maple, and I think I got it from curlymaple.com or .org, and it's a really cool website. They're stationed in the Northeast, I think, and you can go through a variety of different species, all with great figure, and you get to see every piece that you order. So when I made that coffee table, the one I'm giving away, that has all that figure, I went and hand selected 8 different boards. I had a 4 set of legs that were all highly figured, and then another 2 long boards that I ended up cutting up for that project. What's up, kiddo?
Me and Lily and Joseph are going to play on the yoga mat thing.
Okay.
We're going to do yoga.
Awesome.
I need a jacket. I'm cold.
Good idea. So that website's really great. There's a lot of other species there, but when you're looking for something exotic, you want it to have a whole bunch of figure, you want it to really pop. Going to a lumber yard is going to be pretty difficult to find that kind of stuff unless you go to a exotic dealership. So there are lumber yards where you can pretty much get everything. You can get all your ply, and you can get all the standard, materials: poplar, white oak, knotty alder, beech, and so on and so forth. And then there are other lumber yards that carry some of that stuff, but they specialize in, the babingas and the ebony and the purple hearts, and they have all the really nice, really expensive, really, oh, that's so cool, I want to buy it, but I don't know if I want to pay $25 a board foot for it kind of materials. That is a wonderful yoga pose. So that's the kind of neat thing about figured material. But the other one is veneer can be a lot of fun if you get into it. It's tricky. It can be, but the options are endless. Like, So here's a whole bunch of veneer I have. And this, for instance, I don't know how well this is going to register due to the color differences. This is curly maple. I don't know if you can see all the ripples in it, but there's so many different materials that you can choose from. I've got, you can get a thin sheet of walnut. Instead of buying solid material, you can use veneer and create the look. And there's plenty of furniture out there that's done with plywood and veneer. Veneer can look really nice. You can run into several different types of people when it regards to, furniture making. There are plenty of elitists out there who will be like, you know what, I need to use solid material for everything, and anything plywood is a crime to furniture making. And then there are others who are more economic who will say, I don't want to spend all that money on ridiculously overpriced pieces of wood when I can just grab some veneer and put it on something cheap. So there's an end to the spectrum there. I prefer using solid stock material for most of my projects, unless I'm very specifically trying to do something very decorative. With veneer, you can do marquetry, which is something I've dabbled in just a small fraction, which is essentially creating pictures using veneer. In that video where they had that entertainment stand I talked about with the cherry blossoms on it, that was done using marquetry. It was kind of my first attempt at it, and I ended up making some mistakes and sanding through my veneer too much, and I ended up just covering up that tree with a woven pattern of veneer. So if I were to go into my entertainment center and take off that weaved pattern in the front, that cherry blossom would still be there. It was just a project where it was one of those things where it was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to fix this. I'm not going to be able to repair it to a standard that if it's sitting in my room, I'm going to be happy with looking at it every day. That is one of my drawbacks as a craftsman, is I have a bit of a perfectionist streak in me, and that can interfere with a build for sure. It's a double-edged sword for sure. It ensures that I take great pride in my work, and I want to make sure that when I create a product, it is something that I myself would be proud to have. Hey, kiddos.
What?
I said, hey.
Oh. Daddy?
Yes.
Are you using this?
Nope.
Oh, yay. I called it. Daddy, you know on Sundays today we use that big tool thing that you use to kill big rocks?
Yes.
This is like it.
It is.
Sophie.
Looks just like it.
So, what?
I am live on YouTube. What? Means there are people watching and talking. Okey-dokey.
That's a very small copy.
Yep. It is short because our couch is short.
Oh, coffee table?
I'm building two. One of them's for us, and one of them I'm giving away.
Oh. I never knew we needed another coffee table. We already have one.
Oh. Let's see here.
I don't want it.
Huh?
Are you looking at it?
Yeah, because people are asking questions and just responding to them. Yeah, there's a bit of a glare at this point. Continuing on.
What if it says hello again?
Hello again.
Hello again.
All right, go play, kiddos.
Okay.
Let's see. So, if you're going to be making a lot of parts and having parts fit in very specific places, labeling each end so that you know which pieces go where is great, especially if you're doing a lot. Now, if it's just a single build, it usually doesn't matter that much, but I'm building two, so it helps me ensure I've got everything where it should be. I'm rather forgetful in nature and lose stuff all the time, so I gotta use everything I can, try and keep my shop in order. Okay, let's see here. I want to do. Oh, glare. So terrible.
Daddy, why are these two rocks stuck together?
It probably got stuck in the resin while one was being poured over the other. Little snug.
Daddy, I got it out.
You got it apart?
Yeah.
Good job.
All I used was this. I used this part, and I just kept on scooping under it, and then it just fell.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, do you know what those triangle things that I made yesterday?
The triangle things.
Here.
That is.
I found them.
That'll do. A little snug, but it'll do. All right, one. So that means moving on. Right. Hey, sweetie.
Yeah.
Would you close this garage door, please?
Yeah. Is it the one closest to the door?
Yes. Thank you. Oh, I can see. I love that sound. Let me get a cable because my computer's gonna die. One of the problems with my current shop setup is the power. Recently installed a new outlet, a 220 for the bandsaw, and I'm going to be doing some more work getting more outlets in here, but I only had, the house only came with one there, and they trip all the time. So you'll always see me chasing power cords, unplugging one thing, moving it to another.
Daddy, I'm making noodles.
What kind of noodles?
Sawdust noodles.
Sawdust noodles?
Yeah.
Sounds tasty.
And vegetables.
And sawdust vegetables?
Yeah.
It's a good use of sawdust.
I am cutting up the sawdust carrot.
Mm.
Now the carrots are this tiny.
Someone said that sawdust carrots were their favorite. How do you cut something so small?
Because I have a fast cutting skill.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I'll make sure to make extra sawdust carrots then.
Okay. It's very thoughtful.
These are all my carrots.
Yeah. Looks like you got a good supply.
I'm stirring them up.
New tools are my favorite.
This tool. All I gotta do is this. And I can stir it with my noodles too. And I can help. I have a ton of sawdust carrots. Daddy, look at what sawdust carrots.
It's a pretty big pile.
And it can help me scoot all the carrots together. Like this. And I can put some lettuce in it. Hi, I'm making sawdust carrots. Would you like some? Lily, guess what? I'll tell you out there what. I'll tell you too. Lily, where are you?
All right. Let's see. That'll close with pressure. Should, let's see.
I need some more sawdust though.
Maybe it won't. Maybe I need to shorten it a little bit. But before I go there, I'm just going to grab a bigger clamp. Oh, watch yourself.
And may it last all day.
There's so many. Oh yeah, that'll do it. Closed up nicely.
There's something big and like round that I can use as a pot.
Something
Big and round.
big and round to use as a pot. You could use I don't know, one of your teacup set stuff. Sure. Just try not to stir it up because getting a lot of dust in the air isn't good for your lungs. I know, I already answered. All right.
Lily, you want some too? Okay, I'll go get some more sawdust dust. Right over here. Joseph, you know that one big thing, like that one dumpster thing? Can you go get it? Yes. Fill it up. I'm gonna fill it up. It's dust. Dust. Yeah, we'll get in. I can hurt it. We need to get some of this out. So if you want to, she's getting some more sawdust stuff. If you would like to come and help me get some, I'll give you some more. I think I'm going right now. Ow. This is where I keep all my sawdust. Yes. That looks like. And I'll put it right here. Keep on. Daddy, is that a chainsaw thingy?
Nope, it is a dazuki.
Kazuki.
Yep, it's a Japanese pole saw.
I have a bucket full of sawdust cans. Are you filling it up with some more sawdust dust?
What's the matter, Lily? You camera shy?
Lily's shy. I am. Do not do that. Yeah! Daddy, look at it.
Guys, volume. Doesn't need to be so loud.
Killed you. Here. Whoa. Okay. I couldn't throw it up all the way because it's taking forever.
That's good.
Bunch of salt. Just pour the whole thing. Bunch of salt. I'll go find some more salt. Okay.
We're only starting the tip. We need to start college.
Daddy, do you know where more a bit of dust is?
where you are.
We don't want big. We don't want big. We don't even need wood. This is wood. No.
Let's see here. I would say, would.
Hey.
I'll be here all day. One wood that I've used that I love and hate is Ambrosia Maple. This thing I made, which I have a video on, uses it as well. This is Ambrosia Maple with boiled linseed oil. It's my drunken octopus coat hanger. I made a dining table out of this, and it's a great material, but it's called wormy maple for a reason. If you can see, all these little dots where bugs bored into it. And it, I don't know if it's the bugs per se or something as a result of them, but it causes this discoloration by what they release into the wood. And it's a, let's see here. It's a gorgeous material. I've got this piece that I picked up that I'm probably going to book match. That's where you slice it down the middle and open it, kind of like a book. So here's just a piece that's clean. There's no oil on it. The oil is the one that that brings out that real dark amber color. But when you have a piece of furniture that's going to have contact with food, you can't have any holes in it anywhere. And I spent more hours than I was really happy with hand filling multiple times every little hole. And on that dining table, there were plenty, 100, 200. It took forever to do. And I don't know that I would ever go out of my way to make another dining table using that material, even though it looks fantastic, just because that's a headache I don't know that I want again. Not unless I was getting paid. But as it stands, I'm actually making one of these coffee tables is going to have an Ambrosia Maple top and slats underneath. What am I looking for?
I'll cut some mud. You mock my word.
One we're keeping is going to have knotty alder for the top.
Get some on the other side.
Whoa, that's a little too much.
Here, I want to do all that. Here, let me see for that. Hi, guys. I chased somebody down his meeting. I chased somebody down. Hey, boss. You know what I got? What? Look, that's better. Looky, don't do that. I'm ready. Looky. I had to hunt somebody down to get them. No, not first. Good. Go look and see. Like actual cooking things. Watch. Stubby, ready? Stubby, ooh, some more sawdust. Oh, guys, well, you saw me. What do you mean? I'm done. Oh.
All right. Good progress. Got. Whoops. You okay?
Yeah, that hurt my foot.
All right. Well, look at that. I did a great look. See, this fell off my table as it just went, and I put a nice dent in the corner.
What? How is that a good thing?
It's not. I was being sarcastic. All right. We've got the sides done.
Buddy, you gotta do that here. And you gotta come on here where this line was.
Yep, I know how that goes. Enjoy.
Everybody's gonna go gone?
No, someone else was leaving. That's all. Oh, I've been putting it off. But that's what makes this fun. Now, come with me. Join me. We're going to do the best thing that any woodworker can do. Sanding.
Hey, looks like one of ours.
All right, so I have.
Somebody's here. Want me to punch him?
Hey,
Want me to go get
Set up some space.
You want me to?
And I'm going to sand some stuff.
oh, send it.
Time for that never-ending dreary noise. Let's see here. Now, one of the things that I got that has been one of the best big spends I've ever made was this thing right here. If you're going to do any sanding, it is an absolute must have piece of equipment. The sheer difference, the sheer difference it makes as far as timing is, it's hard to beat. I mean, I had I'll just show it to you because I couldn't remember what the tool was if I wanted to. So this was my go-to sanding solution. It was a Bosch, little 5-inch, and it worked well enough. And after, kind of, I've been making purchases in my shop as a one-and-done type approach, meaning that I'm buying the last of whatever it is. Which means that the purchases are a little more expensive. However, they are well worth the money. So the difference between that one and this one, I half my sanding at least right down the middle, in half. I could probably argue it is even more efficient than that. Depending on what it is you're doing. And on top of that, so that's just the efficiency of the workflow. So sanding in general. The second thing that is like top notch with it is the fact that the dust collection on it is fantastic. I mean, if you're in a shop, regular inhalation of dust is not good for you. I do what I can to try and mitigate it for the most part, but my sander, this little thing, even with this little bag, even with a vacuum attachment on it, was still terrible. It kicked up dust everywhere. This is next to nothing, and it's very impressive. I highly recommend getting it and the vacuum. It's a pricey purchase. I think, let's see, I think I spent about $1,000, just shy, for the sander and the vacuum. I bought the larger one with more power, and using it only for sanding, I haven't had to change the bag yet, and I've been using it for months. It's a great tool, so I'm gonna end my rant there regarding that. And I think I want my card scraper.
Daddy, looky, my knife. This is what I use to cut the carrot. Just for dig it.
So this was something I figured out some time ago. This is a ruler, as you can see. It's kind of a cheap, shitty ruler. Reading one of these things is a nightmare. It's absolutely terrible.
What is that?
It's a ruler, but it makes for a really good card scraper because it's very flexible. You don't have to work as hard to get that good angle in order to get your shavings. So
Daddy, look at my knife.
I'm actually kind of fond of using it at times for cleaning up my work. It looks nice and short.
That's human.
Okay, leave it alone, sweetie. Thank you. One of the other things I like to do for scraping glue is a, what are they called? Razor blade. One thing I want to do, it's going to be on my to-do list, is to build a small jig to hold the blade, because when you're using one to scrape glue and it's in your hands like this and you're pulling on it, it digs into your fingers and it isn't really all that comfortable. But it can clean up pretty nicely as well. Take that cup. All I want to get all right, last thing before I jump into this obnoxious noise. I always mark my work when I sand, and I was introduced to this pencil. It's called the Fat Boy. It has really thick lead and a little grabbing system. And what's great about this is it's really hard to break. So if you want to mark your wood, running it over the surface, it's not going to be as delicate or fragile as like a mechanical pencil would be. And when I sand, I always mark my wood to make sure I'm sanding evenly. So you can hear where it's catching. Mechanical, the lead might break wherever it's hitting. So yeah. That's for you guys to make stuff with your dollhouse. And depending on what you're making in the project, what I'm doing right now can easily consist of well, a lot of time. Bring it in for a close-up.
Where's the whiteboard?
Let me just rearrange my workspace here. Get to the point where I can
Slowly.
do what I'm doing
I hide them.
and still have all the cables I need.
It's okay if I did the other one. I'll go find them. Yeah, we'll go find them. And when you find them,
Hey, Sophie, will you hand me the power cord right here, please? Yep. Nope, just bring it to me. Thank you. Never-ending problem of trying to find a way to power my tools. And last request, Sophie. The switch on the side of that right there, the big one. Yep. Turn it to manual, M-A-N.
M-A-N?
Yep. It's pointing to auto right now. You have to turn it to the left.
Will it be loud?
Not really. That's the other great thing about the Fest tool. Their vacuum is quiet. So what I'm doing is basically just removing the bark, all the stuff that will chip off really easily. If you don't and you fill it with something, the epoxy isn't binding to a good part of the wood. So you got to clean it out. Now, it isn't always necessary to get everything. When I'm doing clean out on holes like this, I don't think I'm going to be able to show you. I don't necessarily have the intention of cleaning every inch of it all the way down. So some of these holes go all the way through. Those are important to clean. But the ones that are just in the board and end on the other side, what I'm really looking for is the first 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of material is really clean near the surface. Because I want my resin, when it's adhering to the material, to have a good grip at the surface. If it's a little loose inside towards the bottom of the table or inside the knot, that doesn't matter as much to me. It's mostly just about making sure I have good adhesion at the surface. And in some cracks, I'm gonna have to order some more smaller bits. Some of the hairline cracks in the material are really hard to fill with epoxy. It can be too sludgy to get in there. So I will carve them out to look natural, but give me room to continue working with what I got. Gonna move up to something a little bigger and more aggressive. So if you're getting a lot of really fine powdery brown dust, that's usually bark or dead tree. If it starts getting lighter or thicker in size, that's when you know that you're kind of where you want to be. You'll get pieces like this just floating inside. All right, I've got most of the big spots cleaned up. I'll move back to smaller bit. Oh. All right. Well, I think that's where I'm going to end it for today. I'm going to try and get in the habit of streaming probably daily. Still trying to figure out how I want to go about my streaming methods, whether that's here on YouTube or opening up a Twitch account. I think Twitch would be interesting just because it's a service usually maintained for streaming video games or podcasts or other musicians, talent, live things. But there's not a lot of live streaming woodworkers out there. And I just think it'd be kind of fun to show people what creating a piece of furniture is like in real time, the kind of hurdles you have to jump through to get from beginning to end. So I'll be trying to let you guys in a little bit every day, at least just to get started and putting out as much regular content as I can. So make sure you tell all your friends, invite them to join up. Bigger this thing gets, the bigger and more often I can start making furniture, and then it's only going to go from there. And I can have my my wife quit her job and come work here and help me, which would be awesome. She would be excited about that too. But that will be when this picks up. Looking forward to next time. Until tomorrow. Adios.